And good morning, Tennessee Valley. Good Monday morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. It's too early to really say hope you're having a great day, because Monday morning at 6:30 is probably one of the worst times in the world to be awake. But we appreciate you being awake and tuning in to Tennessee Valley this morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Today is Monday, October 29th, which means there's only a couple of days before we hit Halloween. And right after that, it's November. This year has gone by quickly, and won't be long before Thanksgiving, and Christmas is just around the corner. And I hope you're sort of like Joe Palo. I spoke with Joe earlier, and he's bought all the gifts for Kim already this year. Actually, maybe he's still got a few to get Kim, so don't worry about that. But my name is Alan Mincy. I'm your host. I am the Vice President of Communications at United Way Bradley County. And I always take the opportunity before we go into the show to tell you a little bit about what's going on with our United Way. And with it being Monday, we always promote our Tuesday restaurant, our Restaurant Tuesday for United Way participant. And tomorrow from noon, for lunch, it's going to be Cafe Roma, Shannon Ritzoff and the folks down there. And they will donate back 10% of the proceeds from all sales during the lunch period to United Way. So get a chance, go down and visit Cafe Roma. I suggest the chicken salad and the sweet potato fries. Good stuff, good stuff. We also want to thank the folks over at Books A Million. This weekend, they held a promotion for us on Saturday afternoon where they gave 10% of book sales from 1 to 6 p.m. So thanks to Dustin and all the folks over at Books A Million. That was Saturday. We really didn't get a chance to promote it as much, but my understanding is we may be doing it another Saturday in the future. So we'll try to let you know what's coming up. Got a great show lined up for this Monday morning. We have Evie West, who is with the Cleveland Police Department. We're going to talk a little bit about Halloween safety with Halloween coming up. I've got Julia Wright with the American Red Cross. They've got a few programs that are going on right now that we want her to promote. Then I've got my friend Jeff Salyer from over at Lee University, the Video Production Center, movie expert. He's an expert in a lot of things. And Jeff, I always bring Jeff in to talk about different genres of movies. We talked at one time about superhero movies, and I thought, hey, we'll bring him in and let's talk Halloween movies, we'll let you know which ones scared us the most. I'll give you a hint. Growing up, the movie that scared me the most had a girl with ruby slippers. And it wasn't her that scared me, but some simians that had wings that just scared the bejeebies out of me. So we'll let you figure out what that is. But we'll be back after our messages with Evie West from the Cleveland Police Department, so stay tuned.
Great local sports right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television. Keep up to date on all your Walker Valley sports news Wednesdays with the Walker Valley Sports Zone. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the local high school area football with the pregame Thursdays at 10. And it's a Friday night tradition. Football Friday, every Friday night at 11 o'clock, right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat-screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on this Monday morning, October 29th. Early in the morning, but not too early for Evie West because police officers are 24/7.
24/7, that's right.
And I asked Evie to come on. I wish you guys could have been at our Cleveland Media Association meeting when Evie came over and talked about all of her duties as the public information officer.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
With the Cleveland Police Department. Being a former reporter and watching what they do and having to deal directly with the PIOs, it's amazing that you know all their duties, and it includes a lot of what's going on at the present time with disasters or with police matters, but it is also with just keeping the public informed on things like what we're going to be talking about today.
That's right.
And that's Halloween safety.
Yes, that's right.
Now, Halloween is coming up Wednesday, right. And I know a lot of folks have already bought their candy and got their costumes and have done this for years. And in some cases, they still make some of the same mistakes. I know in my neighborhood, I see kids running across streets without ever looking or anything like that. What is the If you had to pick one of the biggest issues safety-wise for Halloween, what would you say it is?
I would definitely say kids darting out in the street. Maybe they're walking down a certain street, excuse me, and they see a really cool-looking house that's decorated, and so they want to get over there as quick as they can. So they will go between parked cars, run across traffic, and we have a lot of accidents that way. So.
It's, you know, kids are kids.
That's right.
But I think that's why you suggest that kids don't trick or treat by themselves.
No, definitely. I would definitely recommend that when you do go out or allow your children to go out, that you do go with them, accompany them. Yes.
Okay. Is lighting an issue?
Lighting is definitely an issue. Halloween is supposed to be dark, and so, you know, the darker it is, the better it is, the more scarier it is. However, you know, we have people that have fallen in potholes, people that have, you know, broken their legs, you know, because they've tripped over something or some kind of, you know, lighting, or even damaged houses because they trip over wires and then it pulls something off, you know. We have a lot of kids who get lost. And specifically, we talk about the block party. There's so many people that are there, and so many people that are that want to be involved in the festivities. And you turn around 1 minute, and all of a sudden, your child has been shifted off in a different area. You know, now we haven't had any issues with abduction or anything like that, right. But we do find missing children. I mean, we have county and city that are there watching all the time. You know, on each corner and patrolling to make sure.
Well, to keep that in mind, if you have your children at the block party and a child gets separated, I guess the first thing they should do is look for a police officer.
Absolutely, look for a police officer. But a lot of times, sometimes people say, "Oh, was she wearing a gray shirt or a blue shirt?" Especially with a costume, it's easy because they were Peter Pan. But when they're not
Peter Pans,
that's right. Oh, that's true. But if you also, if you have a child that's not in a costume and is wearing regular clothes, there's sometimes I can't remember what they're wearing. So it's very important to remember those kind of details.
Years and years ago, and I believe this may have been something that promoted the creation of not just the block party, but because the block party was set up to be a safe place for children to trick or treat.
Yes.
Is we had these issues with doctored candy and things like that. I would guess that it would be best for children to trick or treat at homes that they know the people.
That is correct, yes.
And at areas that they know are going to be safe, such as the mall. I believe the mall does something. First Baptist, I know, does something.
Churches.
Churches. And the block party, which you have Treat Street there.
Right.
So,
one of the exciting things, of course, I'm 36 years old, so one of the exciting things when I was young was to go around our neighborhood and visit our neighbors, and they would bake treats. And that was exciting for us because, you didn't just get a mint piece of candy or chocolate. It was something that somebody made for you. That was 36 years ago, And so now we have to really be careful about, baking things and giving things because you never know what kind of malintent somebody has. And so I always encourage people, whether they have good intentions or whether they have bad intentions, that, you need to give out candy that's already wrapped, not messed with it. And I know that maybe you're used to making cupcakes or you're used to making home good treats, but this is not the day and age for that. And you just need to, parents need to be very careful about that, conscientious about that.
I've read that you also need to be, we talk about the ability to see, cars so you don't dart out in front of them. Some of these masks that they wear, I don't know how they see through these.
A lot of them, the mask will inhibit. I always encourage parents to paint their kids' faces because when you have a mask, you're inhibited, with your eyes to look to the left or to look to the right or look up or look down. And we have a lot of people that get hurt because they're not, their vision is inhibited. So
it's a holiday that could be a very dangerous holiday because there is so much going on. All over the place. But if parents keep in mind the safety issues and children, sometimes maybe they need to tell their folks, hey, I don't need to be out here by myself or I need a flashlight, Mom, so I can see where I'm going.
Sad to say, yes, if the children have the opportunity to say something to their parents, or if the parents refuse to take the kids trick-or-treating, then maybe a group of children or a group of kids or can go and kind of travel together in a group. It's definitely safer than not having anyone at all and going by yourself.
Do you I don't know if this is the right question to ask, but do you kind of get a kick if you see a kid dressed up like a police officer?
Oh, I think it's cool, but of course, I hear while I'm at the block party, which I worked the last 13 years. Is that a costume? And I'm like, oh.
No, I'm a real police officer.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of adults and kids dressing up, and it makes me feel good because they're dressing up. Obviously, that's something. A lot of people have. They want to be Superman or they want to be Wonder Woman, and they dress like that person. And so, to me, it's not offensive. I'm happy that they do that.
I see a lot of police officers. I see a lot of firemen, and that's great. There are some weird costumes out there, and some that probably some of the adults need to stay home with some of their costumes.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that if I had a child that was trick or treating, I would want to take them to a place where there is that sense of supervision, such as a church that you may go to. And a lot of the churches do programs that are not based in the pagan, the ritualistic Halloween, but base it on, move it into a more Christian type avenue. And then they give out candy.
That's true.
So there's
That's
candy.
True. That's true.
Gotta
You get the best of both worlds there.
Gotta get. What's your favorite candy?
I like chocolate.
Okay.
I like chocolate.
Oh,
Anything chocolate.
Anything chocolate.
I did try Milky Way, the creamy caramel Milky Way. We had it during training, and come to find out it's like 100 calories, and I was like, this is not worth it.
Well, no, 100 calories and chocolate don't go together. You know, we don't count calories when we do chocolate. You're going to be at the block party this year.
Yes, I'll be there. Working
Okay.
Treat Street, First and Church, excuse me.
Okay.
So that's my area, so you can come by and say hello.
I believe it starts at 5, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, we have to be there at 4.
Of
So we
course.
do a sweep of the
Well,
whole
it's going to
area.
be right there next to your building.
Yeah, they just walk out the front doors. That's it. Yeah, but we'll do a sweep of the whole area, and you know, definitely during Halloween, during the block party, officers are constantly watching. We have had fights there. We have had certain altercations there, and so because it's such a large group of people, it's hard to see, you know, where is the altercation coming from, who's involved, and that kind of thing. So we have to be very conscientious. Plus, any officer you ask, it makes them very nervous when you walk around shoulder to shoulder with people that have masks on.
Sure.
You know, and so that's something that we're very conscientious to as well. So.
Well, let's hope that I know we have had very few incidents, and let's hope that this year is no incidents at all, because from what the mayor always tells us, there's 20,000 people or so
That's true. Yes.
downtown in a one block area,
That's
although
right.
it does span out a little bit.
Right.
And ends up going up towards Centenary, I
Yes.
believe, and
Yes.
and all. But
And we do have officers that are specifically assigned to Centenary all the way through to the block party. And Centenary has become a famous spot too, where a lot of, you know, the people that live on that street participate in Halloween. And so you have a lot of people that are at the block party that walk to Centenary and then come back. So we patrol that area as well.
Okay, well that's great to know that. And like we say, if you're a parent who your child may stray away from you, or if you're a child that loses track of mom or dad or older sister or brother, and you see a police officer, go to that police officer. They will try their best to get you.
Right away.
Exactly.
It's true.
Okay. Evie, I appreciate you coming on. I know it's early in the morning, and you never know what your day is going to include.
That's true.
But we appreciate you coming in, and let's hope for a good Halloween.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for all that you do for our community. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to take another break, and then we're going to be back, and I think we'll have Julia Wright from the American Red Cross, which has nothing to do with Halloween, but has a lot to do with what is helping folks in our community. So we'll be right back after these words. Stay tuned.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hello, I'm Bill Odom.
Hi, and I'm Tammy Odom.
We want to invite you to join us on Joyous Living Today for interviews, testimonies, and gospel music by special guests and Dixie Sunshine.
Right here on WTNB, Sundays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Jesus, Jesus, the light of the world.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Thanks to Evie West for coming in early this morning and talking a little bit about Halloween safety, and keep a lot of the things that she said in mind, because it's very important that we stress safety on Halloween evening. I didn't mention my co-host because he brought a friend. Of course, our co-host is Lou, L-U, Live United. Live United, it's under there somewhere. That's his Halloween costume. And he brought his buddy Slim, who is also, I guess, co-hosting. And apparently last week, Nancy Kaysen and Brene Beatty had a show, and Brene was wearing a witch's hat and also trying to talk to animals that they bring in on Thursdays. And part of her hat fell off, so I thought I'd put it on top of Slim there, and actually now he has more hair on his head than I do, so, and darker as well.
Absolutely.
Julia Wright is with me now. Julia is the you say you're the director.
I am.
But your badge still says executive director.
Well, you know.
We got to,
It's semantics.
Executive sounds more important to me. Executive director. So you are the director/executive director of the Hiwassee chapter of the American Red Cross here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm over the Bradley, Polk, Meigs, McMinn, and Monroe counties in southeast Tennessee. That's the service area that I kind of manage as far as the Red Cross, within East Tennessee.
Now, Julia and I have been at a few meetings over the past few weeks with United Way meetings, and I remember in the last one that we had, which was last Thursday, I think you mentioned 13. Is it 13 years with the Red Cross?
I've been with the Red Cross 12.
12 years.
12 and a half, yeah.
Okay.
So we're probably at the halfway mark now.
So we're getting close to 13, and you enjoy your work with the Red Cross, or you wouldn't be there. I know that.
Absolutely. 12 years is a long time to be at one place.
Yeah, and the Red Cross really does a lot in our community. And I want to talk about, you've got a couple of things to talk about, but first off, just about the Red Cross. For those who don't know, what does the Red Cross do in the Bradley County and actually this 5-county area that you're talking about?
The Red Cross is a national organization that has local areas of service, and that's the areas that I was speaking about. Where we deliver the services into the local community that meet the Red Cross mission to alleviate suffering. And our primary mission is around disaster services. That's probably the most recognizable thing that we do in the area. Each year, the American Red Cross responds to about 70,000 disasters across the country, and of that 70,000, the most common disaster is single-family fires, and every community is affected by that on a regular basis. While we don't experience hurricanes and not so many wildfires, we do have single-family fires on a weekly basis in our communities, and multiple times within a week. Most often, and the Red Cross is there to go out. Our volunteers, we're a volunteer organization. About 96% to 98% of our staffing is volunteers. And they go out when a fire's happened and to assist a family with those immediate needs
to help them get their long-term recovery plan started, and to help them get back on their feet after a disaster such as a house fire. They're also trained to help with larger disasters. A lot of folks in our community are very familiar with our services during the more recent tornadoes of March of 2012, and then the previous tornadoes that happened in April of 2011, and the response we had with that, going out and feeding in the community and opening shelters and those kind of things. And we're consistently preparing for the next disaster, because it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And so our volunteers and our staff are constantly preparing for that to be ready to respond to the community.
And speaking of which, one of the things that you're going to talk about is being prepared for things that happen in our community. And you have this program that you have apps on your smartphones?
We do. One of the latest things that Red Cross has done, and it's very exciting, we're starting to, as an organization, a national organization, we're starting to get into some of the technology things that that are available out there. And if you look around, probably most everyone you know has a smartphone. At least one or two people in every family has a smartphone. And so the latest thing that the Red Cross has put out is our mobile apps. And these are preparedness mobile apps. And the first one that was released is the First Aid app. The First Aid app is, to me, it's the essential of having your own first aid book on your phone. And you can download these apps by going to either the Google App Store or the iPhone App Store, and they're free. So this is of no cost to you. It's a really easy download. You just go on there, type in American Red Cross, and it'll pull up the app. The first one is the, like I said, the First Aid app. That was the first one to be released. The second one was the Hurricane app. That's really important for folks who are going to be in areas that might be affected by hurricanes. And then the third one was the Earthquake app, in which a lot of folks don't realize how important that might be in this area. So we'd really encourage folks in this area to consider doing that. We have had some seismic activity recently that just probably has went a little under the radar for most folks, but it's really important to just kind of be aware of those kind of things. And the most recent one is that was released this week was the this last week was the Wildfire app. And then we're anticipating over the next 6 to 8 months that we'll have some additional apps that will be able to be downloaded, which will be your flood app and your tornado app. And I'm very anxious for the tornado app. Our area is very prominent to have tornadoes and floods. It's kind of one of the more common natural disasters in our area. And it's something that you'd really want to have on your phone, and it has a lot of information prior to and post event. So it's really important.
It's not just like a first aid app, I'm sure, is after you have an accident, you can go to that app and it will tell you how to treat. You know, if you have a burn or a bee sting or something like that. But the tornado app that is coming will not only be for after a tornado, but to be prepared before anything strikes.
It has a lot. All of the apps have a lot of preparedness information of how you can be prepared before an event happens or before you actually need it. And they're very interactive. Some of them have like you go in and you can answer some questions and you get like a star. So I'm not sure exactly what that was called, but it's very interactive for you to go on there. It's you know. No one wants an app. Most people, probably one of the more popular ones is Angry Birds. It's something interactive. If you're not, so go in and play with the apps. They're very fun to go in and just look around at them, and they are very interactive, so that they're fun, not just informative, but they're also fun to have on your phone and play kind of the little different questionnaires and things like that.
Don't be playing Angry Birds during an earthquake or a tornado. Keep in mind what's going on. You have another thing going on that you've recently talked about that is dealing, I believe, with cards? Is it Christmas card? No.
Actually, what the October 1st, we had our kickoff nationwide for the American Red Cross Holiday Mail for Heroes program. And what that is it's an opportunity for folks across the country, your local community, to say thank you to our service members. And it's really simple program. It really only requires 3 things. It requires you to have a pen, a card, and a stamp. All you need to do is sign a card, maybe put a special note in there. You'll want to make the card out to very generically to a service, dear service member or dear veteran or dear military family, because these will be collected in bulk. And to get the address, you just need to go to redcross.org/holiday mail, and there's an address. The address, all the cards get sent to our partner, Pitney Bowes, and they will scan the cards to make sure that they're safe for us to give out to the military members, because these are going to go to military service members and veterans that are in military hospitals, nursing homes, and stationed across the world. So it's really important that they are searched before we send them out. And it's one of the great joys of the Red Cross is we get to go out in different areas, and they get to give those cards, and they can come from all over the country, from small children doing a thank you card. And if you go to the redcross.org/holiday mail, there's an actual video on there from Walter Reed Hospital that's very touching of some of the military members that received cards from someone in a community somewhere that sent these cards in, and then they get to open them, and it's really touching how it affects them and their recovery and what it means to them, for just to know that during the holidays, when a lot of them are not with their families and they're away, there's quite a bit of distance between them and their loved ones, that someone cares about the service and the sacrifices that they've made for our country.
Sounds like that this would be a great school project,
It would be a wonderful school project. It's a great way to teach our younger children about the importance of our military and the sacrifices in the service they give, and the freedoms that they provide for us by being in our military. And it's a great educational tool, and it's a great thing, because I do find that the one thing that most people find is giving is much more rewarding than receiving. And as touching as it is for these military folks, being able to sit down and write a nice note to someone that you don't even know for doing something for you, it's a rewarding thing, and it's a great thing to teach children about giving to others, even for folks that they don't know.
You say this kicked off October 1st?
October 1st.
Is there a deadline?
The deadline is December the 7th. It must be postmarked. The address is on the website at redcross.org/holiday mail. There's an address there where you'll send it. There's also some basic guidelines. They ask that you don't put glitter on the cards. They ask that you, there's certain things. Don't put any inserts in the cards, because there won't be sending. Please don't put money or gifts. If you're looking at making a donation, there's other ways to do that through the Red Cross, but it won't be going through this particular program, so don't put money and things like that. If you want to support the military financially, there's links on the redcross.org website of things that we do that support, that you can help support financially, but don't put those in the cards. We want this to be really just a thank you card, a holiday greeting, and those will go out during the holidays.
Okay. Just a few minutes left, but here's your chance to promote the Red Cross, because I know you say 96% or more is volunteer work. So this is your chance to hey, we need volunteers.
We do need volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers, whether it is working with the things like the Holiday Mail program to help promote that and to talk about that in the community, or if it's being on a disaster action team and actually going out and assisting a family, or working in our local office and just answering the phones and doing some administrative work. We've got all kinds of opportunities. You can call us at our local office. It's 472-1595. or if you're in the Chattanooga area, it's 265-3455. But you can contact us there, and we will get you set up with a new volunteer orientation. We have those every month, and we have actually two different sessions. One is in the daytime, and we have one in the evening, so we can accommodate different life and work schedules. And you can decide how much time you have to give. If you have 5 hours a month or 15 hours a week, we can work with your schedule and your talents and find a place for you with the Red Cross.
Fantastic. And if I remember right, at one time you were related to the youngest volunteer.
I was. My daughter began volunteering when she was in, I believe, first grade.
Right.
And by the time she was 11 or 12, she was doing helping with some of the aquatics programs, and she come in and would answer phones and some different things. So yeah, we did have some youth programs, and it's something we're trying to focus on. Is building youth programs so we could really use folks who like to work with youth to lead the youth programs, because we're looking for some very committed, dedicated volunteers to really be leaders in our local organization and in the community and help us build the services from where they are to even greater services.
Fantastic. If you have any questions about the Red Cross, I can call the number a lot. So it's 472-1595.
That's it.
That's our local office. So give Julia a call or any of the folks down there, and they will help you. Julia, thanks for being on our show.
Thank you.
Today.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be seeing you down the line. You'll have to keep us informed on how this program goes. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I'll download that app for tornadoes.
Tornadoes. I'm excited about that. It should be. I'm thinking it'll probably release sometime in early spring, late winter, early spring. Hopefully that's when they, it's depending on the programmers. There's someone that's working diligently to get those apps built and program them. So
sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back after these messages with Jeff Salyer, and we're going to talk about scary movies. So stay tuned.
Great local sports right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television. Keep up to date on all your Walker Valley sports news Wednesdays with the Walker Valley Sports Zone. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the local high school area football with the pregame Thursdays at 10. And it's a Friday night tradition. Football Friday, every Friday night at 11 o'clock. Right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat-screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here. doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on this Monday morning, October 29th. 2 shopping days until until Halloween. I don't know how many shopping days it is before Thanksgiving, but or Christmas. But we've got Halloween coming up Wednesday, and I asked my friend Jeff Salyer from Lee University to come over because I always love to talk movies, and he's a movie buff. He knows a lot about movies. He makes movies. He watches movies. He is movies.
Yeah, I've starred in a movie too.
He starred in the movie. Yeah,
he's had a walk-on role.
Which one was that?
That was the one I produced.
Oh,
so
of course. Well,
it's easy to walk on
yeah,
those.
I was starting to say you had a little inside working there. I do understand that you've been on before and talked about Sundance, and you're going back again this year.
I am going back. I just bought my plane tickets this week and got my housing worked out. I'm excited about it. They haven't released the film schedule yet, but I am really excited about going back. I hope to make this an annual thing.
Our local film that you were involved with, is there a possibility?
We won't know until we did submit, but we won't know until I think it's second week in November, sometime in there. That's when they start making the selection announcements.
But that would be cool.
It would be cool. It's tight competition because there are literally thousands of short films that get submitted to Sundance every year, and they said it was probably a 15% increase in submissions this year, even from last year.
Okay, we're here to talk about Halloween movies. Do they ever show any scary movies at Sundance?
There's a whole section. They have what they call midnight screenings at Sundance, and these are these are not films that are in the competition that these are scary movies most of the time, or fantastic movies as far as unbelievable, and there's some really dark films are shown this past year. One film that is now in wide release called VHS came out, and somebody actually fainted in the movie theater after seeing this film, and I didn't see the film. I like intense films. I like some scary films, but at Sundance I go for kind of more the absurd. One of my favorites was The Troll Hunter, and that was kind of
that sounds scary to me.
Well, it is. There's some moments there's some scary moments in it, and then there's some light moments, and it's a Norwegian film, so it's subtitled, but it's really interesting film. The Blair Witch Project was at Sundance, and that was one of the breakouts of Sundance as far as of all time, but also for scary movies as well.
Let me ask you a question since you brought this up. The Blair Witch Project, paranormal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 50, whatever.
4, I think now.
Why are these so popular?
Well, Blair Witch kind of created this new genre of film called the found footage film. Troll Hunter also fits in this because it is supposed to be like these events happen and they were captured on camera, which is kind of an indictment on our society in that everything's on camera now, and that everybody's always filming, taping, taking pictures, tweeting, whatever. And so what they're doing is they're making a commentary on our society and the fact that we're so visual and we want to record. And it is a little scary because it comes across as reality. Now, Paranormal Activity is not a film that I intend on watching anytime soon. I like scary movies, but I don't like that kind of scary. It's a little different because it hits a little closer to home, and I think people like those kind of films because they do scare them, but then there's this sense of relief that's after the film. But that is a new genre that's kind of emerged since Blair Witch that makes a lot of money, and Paranormal Activity made a lot of money didn't cost a lot of money. Same with Blair Witch. It cost them $10,000 to make it, and they made $100 million from that film.
But I don't know. I've never seen Blair Witch or any of the Paranormal Activity, and just watching the trailers on TV or anything like that, they don't appeal to me because it makes me feel like these are not actual. This is cinematography.
And it is, but when you go to a movie theater and you sit in this dark room with a group of people and the lights dim and the flickering images come on, you get sucked into the story. Whether it's a horror film or a romantic comedy, you're in these people's lives and these characters, and you become you're not a casual observer anymore. You're invested in the story, and that's what they want. And that's why you see Paranormal Activity, one of their ad campaigns has dark shots in the theater of people watching the film, not even
Right.
showing the film. It's just people
Right.
watching the film, and you see their visceral reactions to the different things that are happening on screens.
So I'm assuming that watching this type of film in a movie theater is the best if you want to get the full effect.
Right. With a
Watching
full,
it at home is not going to do it.
Right, and it's even more effective when you have a larger audience, and they know this, and that's why they release them in October. Around this time, you get a lot of these films, and at Sundance it happens too. That's why this person fainted. I think it gets really intense because you're with a group of people that screams at the same time. I went and saw I Am Legend
Sure.
a few years ago. And I was
Will
in
Smith.
Right, I was in Hawaii and with the basketball team at Lee, and I had a free night to myself. I was, I'm just going to go to a movie, and I didn't think. But there was 800 people in the theater in this movie, and this is kind of a scary movie. There's some moments, that are
Right.
really scary. And when people screamed, I found myself jumping, and you can see the whole theater jump. And there's something about watching together, but there's also something about watching a film like Paranormal Activity or something at home alone at night.
That could be scary
It
too.
can be scary, and on Facebook you see a lot of people said, "I'll never do that again," because you can't sleep, and it gets in your mind.
That's amazing. And of course, I'm older than you, but I go back to the old Christopher Lee Dracula movies
Right.
and the Boris Karloff.
Right. One of my favorites is Nosferatu, which
Of
is
course.
like the earliest Dracula film.
Right. Exactly. Well, that honestly, that was a scary vampire.
It is a scary vampire. It kind of created the whole that film really propelled the Dracula themed films, but also just scary films themselves, because it was such an effective visual. It was a silent film. It was so effective visually, and they used this trick photography in it to make you look like these coffins were moving, and it was a really scary film, and it kind of started things out.
Now, I know you teach a class over at Lee.
I do.
But you don't teach a class in anything like this. But
No.
do any of the movies come into your, like how do I say that again?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, I screened Nosferatu in my early film history class just because even though it is not an American film, it was influential in an entire genre. So,
Sure.
But we don't really get into a lot of the scary films. I don't know, the Halloween themed films, the slasher films. We talk about them some as far as when we get into genre studies, because they really are genre. There are certain conventions that are going to happen in a slasher film. And it's going to happen at a certain time because we expect them to, and that's what audiences want, and that's why you continually make films that sequels. That's why you have Friday the 13th 20.
Exactly.
Because that's what sells, and so the companies are going to make, the production companies are going to make these films because they know they sell, because it fits a genre.
What do you? I'm just going to throw some questions.
Okay.
What do you consider as the best horror film?
There's a lot, and I think one of the ones that people, and that I put up there myself, is The Exorcist.
Sure.
A lot of my friends that are older than me, that grew up when teenagers when this film came out, and even people my age that are film aficionados and that are film critics, they really look at that film as a scary film. And one of the reasons, one of my professors pointed out, one of the reasons it's so scary is because it's in this element of truth that goes along with this, and the idea of exorcism in the Catholic Church and in the church. And so there's an element of truth in here. And recently we had The Exorcist of Emily Rose,
Right.
which also kind of played on this idea. Then you also get films like The Shining, which is, a lot of people, I know, when you get around this time of the year, everybody talks about, they start tweeting about what their films are. And there's a couple of guys that are heavy hitters in Hollywood that are constantly tweeting about how The Shining influenced how they make films, and those portrayals. And Poltergeist. So, and then you got your slasher films like your Friday the 13th and your Nightmare on Elm Street and your Halloween films that kind of created this 1980s slasher genre that are scary, that are kind of become films. And then you have your vampire films and your werewolf films. And now we see the rise of this vampire genre that's completely shifted from the days of Nosferatu and Fright Night to now we're at Twilight where vampires glitter. And
that's not a vampire movie to me. I'm sorry. I know there's vampires.
I have a friend writing her dissertation on it,
and there's wolves and everything like that. But that's just not a scary.
Yeah, it's
Halloween film to me.
Not, it's kind of trying to blend a couple of genres together, and just, for some people it works. And hey, I don't want anybody jumping on my Twitter about they love Twilight. It's not for everybody, but it's not for me. But some people really, really like it, and I get that. But that's why they make these films, because they are appealing to mass audiences.
Well, and as I mentioned earlier, the film I grew up watching every year was Wizard of Oz, which, if anybody had to pick a scary film, that would not be a scary film. Although, the wizard looks a little scary when he first appears, and the Wicked Witch and all. But those monkeys, those flying monkeys, scared me to death.
Well, I heard you talking about that earlier, and there is a prequel to Wizard of Oz coming out, Oz,
really?
that chronicles the travels of the Wizard of Oz as he comes to Oz, and so that's coming out pretty soon. And I was kind of surprised. Talking about releases, I was kind of surprised there's not that many October releases this year of scary films. It doesn't seem like to me that I've seen advertised. Maybe I'm not in of course, they're not advertising on HGTV, which is what my wife watches, and they're not advertising on Channel 5. But, Paranormal Activity is about the only one I've
That's
seen
the only one that
on
I
TV.
can think of as well.
And that's unusual. That's for this time of year. VHS is out, but it's kind of a niche kind of deal, big cities.
And I have not heard of that one.
No, because it's from what I read and understand, it's a really intense, kind of grotesque, kind of one of those.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've talked Halloween movies, and I was telling you that I'd gone to
IMDb, the Internet Movie Database,
and looked at their top 100 films, and I asked you what you think was their number one film, and you still didn't guess.
No, I don't have a clue what they say.
Well, their number one, they say, is Creepshow.
Okay.
And I asked down at the office, and one of them was the one with the clown in it. Right, and then another one said the one with the puppet in it.
Puppet Master.
Well, no, they were talking about Chucky.
Chucky, yeah.
They were talking about Chucky.
There's a couple of puppet ones.
And then a couple of them say, I don't watch them. So, but it's funny that nobody seems to have the same favorite Halloween movie. And a lot of people don't even want to let you know that they like a Halloween movie, for that matter. Hey, we got some things coming up. I think on Friday, this past Friday, we had a movie, Cloud Atlas.
Right.
That came out.
Right.
And any new movies that are coming out while I got you here?
I want to see Cloud Atlas. I'm a little nervous about how they pull it off and some of the philosophy in it. But the Wachowskis and Tom Twyker directed this film, and Tom Twyker directed one of my favorite edited films, which is Run Lola Run, which is a German film.
I don't know that one.
It's a really short film, really postmodern, and I see Cloud Atlas as being a very postmodern film as well, with these kind of interlooping times and parallel lives. And a lot of my students have read the book it's based on, and they talk about how they want to see it. So I do want to see it visually, because I think the Wachowskis, who did the Matrix trilogy, and Twyker, who did Run Lola Run, blending those styles together might be an interesting film. And so I definitely want to check that film out. I want to see Argo. I haven't seen Argo yet. So.
Yeah, that looks like an interesting film, because it's based on making up a film, and then filming the made-up film.
Right. It's based on a true story of the CIA trying to rescue hostages in Iran by posing as a film crew to go to Iran to make a movie. But that's how they got in the door to get these hostages out. And then there's intrigue. And what I've read, Ben Affleck does a great job. He directed The Town, and he did a good job directing this one I hear. And I haven't seen it yet. The one I'm most looking forward to, just for the fun of it, just because I love these kind of genre movies, is the new James Bond with Skyfall. And it just looks really good.
That just came out this weekend, didn't it?
No, it comes out in November.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they've already started advertising for it, because they're trying to make it. Came out in Great Britain already, but Adele sings the theme song, and you got Daniel Craig's coming back with Dame Judi Dench back in her role too.
You think Daniel Craig is a good James Bond?
I like Daniel Craig's James Bond. I thought Casino Royale is my favorite James Bond film of all time. And Daniel Craig's in that, and that was his opening role, just because it's kind of this rebirth of Bond kind of deal. But I didn't think the last one, Quantum of Solace, was that good. It kind of slipped back into the old kind of same old.
What did you think of the new Bourne?
I didn't see the new Bourne.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, it's on my list. It's on my Netflix queue. I haven't had time. I've been doing exams and teaching.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Are you a doctor yet?
Not yet. I passed my qualifying exams. I have to write my dissertation now.
Okay, I know that you're.
It's always another step.
You're coming up on that. Well, since I've got you here, what's going on with Jeff and April and everything like that?
Oh, we're doing great. Yeah,
you got a little one.
Got a little one. Got Brantley, just turned 1. He's trying to walk. He's trying to walk around. He's doing really well. And Abigail's in kindergarten at Parkview, and she's loving it over there in Miss Horvath's class. And so she's having a good time.
And April is a teacher.
April teaches at Parkview. She teaches 3rd grade.
Okay.
And she loves it over there.
Still supporting the Wildcats.
She is, unfortunately.
Have they won a game this year?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I'm just in sadness over my Vols, so that's,
And your Yankees.
Yeah, my Yankees.
I'm sorry about the Yankees.
Went down bad. I knew when Jeter went down, it was over though.
Yeah, you just haven't had a good sports year.
I have not. The Titans have won a couple.
They have
in the last 3 games, and so
And now they're trying to figure out which quarterback is the best. So
they better keep Hasselbeck in there until he loses.
Well, I'm not sure that they're going to do that, but things are going well over at Lee University.
Things are going great in our office and at Lee right now. We're planning this new communication building, and it's been announced, in the community, and we're really excited about that in our office and our department and what it's going to mean for telecom and communication studies and video production and film studies, and so we're just really excited about what's going on at Lee right now.
Okay.
Homecoming's coming up in a couple weeks, this week.
And you are involved with a sports program over there as well.
Our Inside Lee Basketball, which airs here on Channel 5, we'll be starting that up again in January. But basketball started this past Saturday. And homecoming weekend this weekend, we got a game with Tennessee Temple on Thursday.
Big game. That's always a big game.
And the women are traveling to UTC to play Chattanooga in an exhibition game. And then this weekend is the homecoming games on Saturday. So, check it out. We're also going to be streaming those games.
I noticed
so
that.
You can go to our website, leeuniversity.edu/video, and you can get a list of all the stuff. We're streaming a lot of stuff this week and in the next weeks to come. So check that out. It's high def. We do, we really enjoy working over there and doing these things.
And how long before you become a doctor, as you said?
I'm hoping sometime this year. I got to write the dissertation, so we're still. I have to propose it and defend it.
That sort of thing. What's it on?
Right now, if I get approved, it's going to be on the
Rocky?
rhetoric. No, I did my
we've
thesis
already
on
done
Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah, it's going to be the rhetoric of Pixar. That's the plan. I'm looking at
I
Pixar
remember you
films.
talking about that.
So Pixar films are my thing. I kind of really enjoy those. And
was Frankenweenie a
no,
Pixar
it was not a
film?
Pixar
Okay,
film,
I couldn't
no.
remember if has there been any Halloween Pixar movies?
No, not that I can think. Not Halloween. They always release in June, and so they typically keep it, not necessarily season. They do some season shorts for Christmas and so, but no, they haven't released any Halloween films.
And
Disney Animation has.
And any more features any films that you're going to be involved with?
Not right now. Just going to go to Sundance and see if Ella makes it in. If Ella doesn't make it in, that's fine. We made LA film shorts, and so we're happy about that. But not at this point. We're read a couple of scripts, so we're seeing what we may work on something here pretty soon. I did want to say Monsters, Inc. may be considered a Halloween film. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But Monsters University is the sequel coming out this summer to Monsters, Inc. And if you check out monstersuniversity.com, it's a really nice website to prequel for this thing.
I've been following the Iron Man 3 sequel.
Oh, yeah, that's coming out too.
That's the one I'm looking forward to.
That'll be fun.
It could be. They're running out of ideas there. But Jeff, appreciate you being on the show. There are so many. I've got this list here. One of my favorite is and it's not scary, is Young Frankenstein.
Right.
I love Young Frankenstein. It's got Beetlejuice on here.
Yeah.
So it's throwing some of those Halloween movies that you really don't think of.
Right. Ghostbusters is good.
But Halloween on the list is number 86. So it's whatever not everybody agrees with the listing here. But I appreciate you being on. Good luck with the dissertation.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, we want to get you on here so I can call you Dr. Salyer.
Okay, that'd be good.
Folks, thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. Don't forget all the safety tips that Evie mentioned, and have a safe Halloween on Wednesday. And I think I'll be back again next Monday. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later.